Hey folks, this is ioEther, and we're back with some more World of Tanks. As you can see, this is Buraz in his M48 Patton. This is a tier 10 game on Pilsen. This is actually one of my favorite heavy maps. I like this a lot better than like Himmelsdorf and actually some of the other heavy maps. Stalingrad. But this one I actually quite enjoy. I don't know why that is, but anyways, so now that I'm off topic, let's get back on topic. So this is the Sunday game. This should be a great game. It should be a little bit out of the box, and ooh, oh yeah, nice tag onto that 1390. Who obviously thought that by taking that shortcut he'd be perfectly fine. And he lost 400 health already. Before we get into this game, as always, if you think this deserves an MVP, and I personally am going to hit the like button on this because I think he deserves an MVP for this, then we're going to hit that like button. If you want to see more of this kind of awesome content, then please subscribe. And all things thank the Patrons, for they are amazing. And without them, the MVP program wouldn't even happen. So, ooh, that is a 430 is challenging, and he's got a T44 with him. Seems the T44 is the only one getting tore up. That's either because the T44 is pushing more aggressively, or I think it's actually because the T44 is a weaker target, and people are shooting at. I don't agree with that last shot. I know for damages, obviously he should be shooting at T43 because, or T. I've been saying 43 this entire time, haven't I? T430 because of the fact that the 44 had less health. But if you have the opportunity to take out an enemy tank, take out an enemy tank. Don't put a shot into something else unless you absolutely have to. Ooh, nice job lighting the 430 on fire. That's actually the reason he killed it, and the fact that it didn't get another shot on him was because of the fact that he lit it on fire. And it burned to death. Now, it wasn't much of a burn, mind you. It was actually only 10 health, but still, that would have been enough for the 430 to fire another shell, and, well, he doesn't need any more damage at this point in time, right? It's actually quite impressive doing a 430 in a 48 Patton, and doing more or less even trades because of the fact that the 430 has so much armor on it. But the 430 wasn't using it effectively. We were there, thus Rez comes out on top. And he was going to try and do poor things to his grill, but unfortunately for him, I don't think he's going to be able to see the grill. Oh, well, okay. T30 comes out, side on. We'll take that. Not certain what the T30 thought was. Well, I guess he didn't know for certain we were here, but somebody definitely knew because that pilot took a shot at us. Now, it's possible he was actually shooting at the Indian Panzer. But even still, that means that the enemy team knew there were tanks over here, and the T-30 still decided to come out side on. It's not bright on that T-30's part. That poor guy. Now, this T-1 is trapped in a really bad spot, and I don't think he can get himself back out of it. He is out in the open with only these few containers between him and enemy targets. Now, obviously, he's come out here to try and challenge us because his team have won the entire other side of the map. And so they have to start, like, dominating this side. But driving straight out towards hold down enemy tanks is never a good plan. And that's more or less what they're doing because of the fact that we own these ridges and they're driving across this open space towards us. We're going to be able to farm so much damage. What they should be doing is either grouping up on this flank or grouping up on this flank and then making a concentrated push. If they could do that, they could get 3 or 4 tanks back here, then they could start to sweep and clear. But as long as they're just going to continue to try and push across open ground, this is just the kind of damage farming that's going to happen from the really experienced players that know what they're doing. And those are the ones that you want to get kills on early, because the experienced players are the ones that are going to take you out. He's up to 7,000 damage, and unfortunately he's running out of. Well, actually no, we're even right now Good. So as long as we continue to hold these hills and they continue to do stupid things... Wait, why is there a Pershing over there? Pershing, where did you... Why are Pershing left the cover of these hills to push across open ground towards the guys who are dying? I don't know, but apparently he did. Which obviously means he died. That's stupidity. Our Indian Panzer and our T-44 have also... this is a better maneuver, but I wish they'd be more connected. Yeah, and like fighting him from there was never a good plan. Unless you're side scraping, but that would expose you to fire from here. So unfortunately, it feels like a lot like our team is throwing this. Our Indian Panzer with like 10 health is chasing down a pilot who's got to have more than 10 health, right? Oh, yeah, look at that. Pilot killed him. Who could have seen that coming? Okay, so he's probably not going to run out of shells, thankfully. But he is going to have a problem here. Ooh, nice job from the 46. Now there is going to be a pilot trying to come up behind us, and that is going to be an issue. The 430 over here needs to get taken out. He is skills. You can see because of this thing that he has completed all of the personal missions with honors, which is exceedingly hard to do. Oh, unfortunately, he gets taken out by a 46 Patton, which is good for us, but leaves us with a small problem, because if we known he was going to take out the Patton, then he would have tried to take out the AMX before it disappeared back into cover. Now, you gotta aggress on the 46, the AMX right now, but not necessarily this way. I would aggress along this route, or over here and then down here maybe. The problem is that this T-25 has got to know. Oh, yeah, there he is. One shot into us. Two shots. No, maybe not. Oh, he bounced. Nice job. And he gets nice shot into him, and then wait. Oh no. Well, now he's got a little bit of a problem. Oh, this is a problem. Yep. Okay, so what? He made one tiny mistake, and now he's got himself into a bad mess. So we're gonna pause here before we know what happens. First off, his gunner needs to come back. So I'm not certain how long the gunner's been dead, but I'm gonna guess more than a couple seconds, which means he's not paying attention to his crew. He's just paying attention to tanks around him, which honestly, when you get in this kind of situation, it just happens. Now, over here, he had the gun depression. He had the T-25 pilot tracked. And we know from the 430's repair time that more often than not, he's going to be able to hit this guy again before he repairs. So if he pushed a little bit around this side, he probably could have killed the T-25 pilot without getting shot another time from the pilot. Now, it is possible that the AMX would have been around here somewhere and could have shot us, but we had enough health to take one shot from the AMX without worry, as we've obviously just taken. Now, if he'd done that, then he would have killed the pilot, and then he could have hid behind this hill again for a little bit until he either knew where the AMX was, or until the AMX decided to do something stupid, or until he got unlit, and then he could sneak out and back and around and away to do whatever he wanted to do. But he didn't take advantage of the T-25 pilot's position, and he didn't take him out when he had the chance. Now, it's quite possible he didn't think he had the shot, but it would have been worth sticking around for a couple more seconds to find out if he had the shot, considering he's just about to be goated. Now, as soon as he got himself into this spot, now he's in a really bad mess. He needs to reverse around this side of the mountain, keeping his frontal armor towards the AMX with his turret pointed somewhere between the T-25 and the AMX, because what's going to happen next is they're both going to try and come over the ridge at the same time, and then he's going to only be able to kill one of them. However, if he gets himself over here, especially if he can get all the way over here, then he can put them in a position where they have to come at him from more or less the same direction, and he can kill one without the other killing him. The only other way out of this situation is if he gets really lucky, maybe the pilot bounces a shot and he can kill the AMX and then focus on and kill the pilot. So let's see what he does. Also, at this point in time, I'd be loading HE, and not the heat he is loading. The other thing about that, I mean, obviously his nerves are completely going at 110%, and he's just going on adrenaline at this point in time. But if you sit back and think about it, they're both on less than 60 health. This gun has a 400 alpha with an HE of 480. That is going to be enough residual damage that even if he hits the most armored part of either tank, as long as he doesn't hit the tip of a gun, the splash damage of an HE shell will kill either of these guys. Whereas a heat shell may get eaten by tracks, it might get eaten by gun mantle. Those are places a heat shell cannot go through, and it won't necessarily do what he needs it to do. So let's see if he manages. Yep. Okay, so he is backing around the side of the hill exactly as he should be doing. He needs to now... Oh! He's trying to juke them out, and I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, good. Good. Okay, and he's got them both. Where's the AMX? Good. Oh no! AMX missed. Oh! If that had been an HE shell. He connected with the gun mantle, I think? Or maybe the base of the gun of the T-25 pilot. If it had been an HE shell, he'd be dead. More than I'm confident of that. Maybe somebody's going to disagree with me, but I don't care. I'm confident an HE shell would have killed him. And this is why you guys sit back and think about your ammo choices really carefully, especially near the end of battle when you need that win. Now, unfortunately, he's just fired. The AMX is going to be loaded in a couple seconds, and the T-25 is going to start pushing his luck because he knows we've fired. Yep, and they both come over the ridge, and AMX gets killed. He's got to back off and swing his tank this way. And I have no doubt that's exactly... No! Oh no! Oh wow. Obviously APCR from the pilot. I'm trying to get the angle, but of course I can't zoom out any further because wargaming. So he's like about here-ish. Oh, yeah, look at that. He barely had a shot. Actually, it's possible he put one through the side of the turret. I'm gonna let it smoke out so I can actually see the tank a little better. Yeah, it's possible he put one through the side of the turret. I don't think the upper glacis would have been a viable target for that heat shell. Obviously, you can't hit the or you may have hit the cupola. Obviously, the gun mantle wouldn't have done anything, or the gun, or any tracks. The side of the turret is the only thing that I could think. Oh man, that's unfortunate. I think if he'd backed off, he would have been okay, or he would have been more likely to be okay. The fact is, he pulled forward, and in pulling forward, he exposed a bigger profile of his tank. I don't know if that's what got him killed. I don't know if backing off would have actually saved him or not. But he was so close to pulling this out. And for a 9,500 damage game, this was an amazing replay, and I wish it had been a victory, because that would have been the most epic replay ever shown on the channel. As it is, it's the most damage ever shown on the channel. Wow. I am just... Wow. Nice job, by the way, taking out the AMX. Well done with that. So close. Okay, we're going to jump over and see what his battle results were. So he gets the first class badge, the Bruiser, Arsonist, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Confederate, and a High Caliber. Yeah, we're not surprised about those. Oh, good lord. There was actually only 2 enemies he didn't shoot. 9,500 damage, 800 base experience. Good lord. You know, he made more base experience than 2/3 of the enemy team. That's impressive. Anytime you can win and get more experience than most of the enemy team, you've done something right. It's just not enough of it, unfortunately. You basically need his team to do 23 more damage, and they couldn't do that. Oh, look at that, damaging 13. So which 2 tanks didn't he shoot then? Rimotel he never shot, and FV2 the FV4202 he never shot. But other than everything else, he put a shot into at some point. It was well done. He definitely almost carried this game. This was a beautiful game. Unfortunately, it ended in the way it ended, and still he made money on it. I'd call this a win, man. You did everything right that you possibly could have. The only thing is you made a couple of tiny mistakes, and I had to go over them because, you know, obviously this is what, you know, reviews are for, but tiny mistakes. Otherwise, this was a beautifully, almost perfectly played game, and it should have been a win. I'm sorry it wasn't. That shot on the T-25 pilot that connected should have killed him. Well, it didn't. Thank you so much for saying this in. Please, everybody out there, hit this the like button if you think this deserves an MVP. I personally will be, because this is an amazing game that deserves some credit. And also, please, if you want more of this kind of content, subscribe. And in all things, thank the Patrons, for they are amazing. And without them, this whole thing wouldn't be possible. Well, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. So, yeah. And can I get some thumbs up or something, some happiness for the music and the new artwork that will be coming to the channel very soon. As soon as I find the artist and the musician and get them their stuff within a couple weeks, they should give me back something awesome. So, thank you all. Have a great night. This ioEther out.